And by the way, I watched AOC answering questions in Munich. This was not a good look for the United States. I watched Gavin Newsom answering questions in Munich, and this was a bad look for our country. These two people are incompetent. I never heard her speak very much. They started answering questions. She had no idea what was happening. She had no idea how to answer.
President Trump slamming AOC over what she said at the Munich Security Conference after she took a series of questions on foreign policy. The far-left congresswoman now going to the New York Times, venting about the criticism and mockery of her performance on the world stage. Take a listen to some of her gaffes.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States.
Maduro was, as a leader, he canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator. And
here with us now is Ben Shapiro. Ben, she called the New York Times and said, everybody's got this story wrong, that this is about me running for president. I could give whatever about that, to be honest. The story is less about the opponents being some hypothetical primary. To me, my opponents are the network that links Orban, Trump, Milei, Bolsonaro, all these folks. In my experience, Ben, it takes a lot of effort and learning and preparation to not make news on things you don't want to make news about. That didn't happen here.
Well, I mean, it's not our fault for noticing that she was horrible. My favorite conceit here is that she goes abroad, she says a bunch of incredibly stupid things, and that's leaving aside her general message, which was that there has to be class solidarity across countries between people who are poor and people who are rich. But put that aside. I'm sorry, but if you proceed to give an answer reminiscent of that famous clip of Miss South Carolina attempting to answer a question about the Iraq War from 15 years ago, and you're on a international stage, that is your fault, right? She apparently prepared for this for months. According to Politico, she'd had multiple sessions with Matt Duss, who is Bernie Sanders' foreign policy advisor. Leave aside the advisability or inadvisability of going to Bernie Sanders' foreign policy advisor for your actual takes on the world. The fact that AOC spent months preparing for this and then proceeded to fall all over herself on basic questions and to place Venezuela below the equator. Again, that is your fault, lady. It's nobody else's fault. You were the one who went. And obviously, look, she was taking her 2028 bike out for a spin. She hit the embankment. She flipped head over heels and went all the way down the mountain. It's her fault.
Ben, she might not have been prepped for questions about China, but she was certainly prepped for questions or able to drop in Israel at every opportunity.
That is her thing. I mean, she was really only looking for solidarity around anti-Westernism. And part of that, of course, is to claim that the West has been complicit in what she called a genocide. There is no genocide, obviously. Her foreign policy is the basic idea that the West is always to blame for everything bad happening on Earth. One of her big claims is that the West has engaged in hypocritical foreign policy at the same time that she's sitting there and claiming the United States should have basically allowed Hamas to run roughshod over Israel after October 7th, or that the United States should have done nothing about Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, who, as she freely admits, is an oppressor of his own people. Again, this is the Noam Chomsky School of Foreign Policy, except spoken by a person with two standard deviations less of IQ than Noam Chomsky.
Let's talk about Marco Rubio. Many people have seen the clips from his speech. It's roundly being applauded. And Jerry Baker of the Wall Street Journal wrote this today, that in Munich, Rubio points to a path forward for the GOP. His touching invocation of the shared roots of Western civilization that unite America and Europe didn't obscure the warnings Mr. Trump has been sounding, which Mr. Rubio echoed. Europe can no longer rely on American security for its own peace. And yet he did get a standing ovation. Maybe people thinking, okay, this is a tone that we can appreciate.
Yeah, I was speaking with Senator Tim Scott this morning, and one of the points he made about Secretary of State Rubio is that he was constantly using the word we. Now, President Trump selecting Secretary of State Rubio for that position was a brilliant move. Rubio did a spectacular job on the world stage, specifically because he made many of the same critiques you heard J.D. Vance, the vice president, make in Europe. But instead of going in and trying to clobber everybody with a 2x4, he said, listen, we have a shared culture, we have a shared history, we have a shared set of values. if we wish to uphold those things together, then it's really important that you be strong. We're here to help you strengthen yourselves, but you can't stand in your own way. You have to get out of your way on the economy. You can't put forward all these green regulations that are designed to hamper your own growth. You have to get out of your own way on mass immigration. If you do those things, then not only can we stand together, we can build the next century together. That's an encouraging message. It's an optimistic message, even if he is making spectacular critiques of the Europeans at the same time.
But it's like Rubio ended up with the headlines he wanted out of his speech, and AOC did not. Thanks so much for being on the show, Ben.
Thanks.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.